Hi everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of Diary of a Depressed Dad. I just wanted to chat about the topic depressed versus depression. I thought it would be a good topic to chat about. I think my perception, and please understand that all these opinions are just my opinion and alone. Some of my opinions are loosely researched, but it's just my sort of take on this. By no means is it truly fact, but it's certainly just an opinion, something for you to take home or discuss or question. Please feel free to leave comments. Should any of this information that I'm sharing be contradictory, or even just for the matter of that you might have some further information to share. And that's really what this platform that I created is all about. Just coming back to depressed, I think depressed is being in sort of a state of unhappiness or despondency. But I feel that there's often a time clock on being depressed. People have moments of feeling depressed, but they soon, over time, and it's amazing how time heals all. We get over certain things and we move on with our lives. I think the clear distinction between being depressed and suffering from clinical depression, of which I am currently still diagnosed with, is the fact that you have a mental health disorder which is characterized by persistent depression or depressed mood, and loss of interest. And that's kind of where I find myself to believe that I am clinically depressed. It's purely for that fact that I have almost no mood in terms of feeling towards anything that's interesting. And it sounds weird to say that, but a loss of interest in activities has certainly become that. I prefer to sit at home and be with myself and do things that are individual, rather than spending time with family and friends, because that in itself creates its own effort. And with clinical depression, effort becomes a problem, it becomes a pain, and that's things in the end that you want to avoid. And yeah, it's not an easy feeling to go through. More importantly, I don't like feeling like that. I used to feel that I was, back in the day, a well-grounded, down-to-earth, easygoing person that was always happy to attend anything. But lately, I don't share that sense of feeling anymore. Where doing nothing or sleeping is the real win. So yes, just comparing clinical depression to being depressed. For example, being depressed, i.e., you have a bad breakup with somebody. Yes, you go into a bit of a depression, because you really love that person and they've moved on and you haven't quite moved on yet. But over time, you either talk to people or you find ways to find a way to get over that. And generally we get over things when we are depressed, through our own internal findings, and it's not so-called seeking professional assistance or help. And I think that's where the clear distinction is between us in terms of depression versus being clinically depressed. And I think with clinically depressed is, we have to rely on professional help. We have to lean towards medication to sort of cull the emotions. and to get your mind thinking a little bit slower, if I can call it that way. It's just because the way we are emotionally invested in a lot of things, we have a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and those highs we feed off, and funny enough, even myself, I fed off a lot of lows over the years. But with medication, it sort of kind of balances you up into this nice frame where you don't have too many peaks and on either side of the spectrum. And but that's also not great either, because it also sort of slightly deters you away from being present in any moment. And that's the thing I struggle the most with, is trying to be present all times in every moment. And I struggle with that. And as much as I want to be with people and around people, it has to come in short bursts. And that was never like me. I was always wanting to be around people all the time. And yet I find myself on the opposite end of that spectrum now, where I just have this feeling and the sense of feeling that, I just want to be alone. I'm not lonely, but I want to be left alone for more parts of myself than I'd like it to be. But that's just what I'm trying to toy with at this stage, and to deal with. So I'd like to leave a couple of questions. Have you experienced being depressed? Or are you starting to show signs of clinical depression? Where some of those examples are put out there is can you relate to that? And if it is, leave some comments. I'd like to hear from you. Please share your thoughts with me. I'll continue episode 3 in a short bit as well. Stay safe out there. Thanks.